So the Vegas blue line, big guys obviously can box out well. The middle of the ice might be, tough to contest. What's the key to winning that battle against them?
I mean, yeah, you know what you're going to get. They're big, they're strong, but we can move the puck, and it's just to see who has the will to go there and who has the fight to go there. So. You got to be willing to go there because that's where a lot of goals are scored in the playoffs.
You seem to have, some of that on every line almost. You've got some bigger guys spread across the lineup. How much do you think that helps?
It definitely helps. We were talking about that the other day. I don't know who I was talking with, but there's somebody on each line that can get to the front of the net, that's willing to go to the front of the net, and it's balance, and that's what we've been striving for. It's the balance and not lean on the top guys all the time. So, in playoffs you need depth to score, and that's what this lineup brings right now.
Obviously, the physical intensity ratchets up as the playoffs go on. How do you find that line? It seems like game to game that line might be different with the refs. Where do you know what you can get away with and what you can't? How do you find that?
I don't know. I wish I had the answer.
Trial and error, basically?
I guess, yeah. I mean, when they call that first penalty, it's kind of when you kind of see what you're getting away with, what you're not. Each game brings different element, and you just go out and you play the same way, but it can be called different. Who knows? It's hockey, and away you go.
Does that affect you early in the game where you're waiting for that first penalty?
No, you're not waiting. You're not waiting for it. You're just playing, and you're just playing hockey, and that's all you can do.
Barry, there hasn't been 3 Canadian clubs make the second round of playoffs since 2004, so it's been a long time since there's been this many Canadian clubs in the second round. And we'll say there's a bit of nationalistic fervor out there in Canada now, and I guess what would it mean to you as a Canadian to win a Stanley Cup with a Canadian club and that drought?
Well, being from Canada and being a Canadian kid, and it's been a long time, but we're far from that right now. We got a lot of hockey ahead of us before we can start talking about any of that.
Or last time these two teams played in the playoffs a couple of years ago, Vegas's 4 lines really kind of took. They had the edge in that way. But the way that this last series ended, do you feel like that's now become kind of a hallmark of your team, kind of the strength of your team?
It is a strength, and when you can roll 4 lines in the playoffs and getting contributions from everybody, like I've said before, like the top lines kind of even out their top lines. The top guys, kind of wash each other out, and it's the depth guys that are going to really step up and play a big role in how far you can go. It's been like that all the way through ever since I was a kid. You could see it, in the NHL, and it's proved for us to work. And in the last series, we had big guys step up and score big goals. Yanni scored that goal in Game 5, and it's those little things that help turn a game around, because that's where names are made.
You're a guy who moves up and down the lineup, plays a lot of different roles. Do you find your game, not your game changes, but there's a little bit different things that you have to do when you're kind of playing lower down versus higher up, obviously? Do you find things change a lot for you?
No, I just play the same way. I've always played the same way. I'm not going to change, who I am or how I play now. It's, I've played a few games that got me to where I am now, and that's not going to change.
Yesterday at practice, you were doing a drill. I can't remember what it was. Took a shot on net. Pickard made the save. You went and pushed the puck and Calvin into the net, and then celebrated your goal.
Yeah.
I mean, is that ever? There's no off switch, I guess, in practice. It was debatable.
It might have been. Yeah. I saw it. But no, it's just. I don't know if it was an off switch. It was just there, and we're having fun, and that was practice day. Keep it light. But somebody said that there's probably no video review when I started the game, so I said it was a good goal.
We might have it on film, so we can take it.
Okay, perfect.
You're okay if that one gets challenged?
Well, like I said before, there was no video review when I started.
Is there any
What's the dynamic of a team that isn't now positive who the number one goalie is? Like, is it could be either guy. We certainly don't know who'll start tonight, but when you have a team, does it make a difference if you have two guys, one guy? What do you think?
I think two guys is great. You can always lean on the other guy, but it's nice to see Pix doing what he was doing and do what he did last series, and whoever goes tonight goes. It doesn't matter who's in net for us. It's we play the same way, and we have to play Oilers hockey, and that's how we're effective. But